Hi, I'm Alan Delmar, Club Manager at Rappahannock Cellars, and I have for you our July 2013 Question of the Month. This question comes from Rob, and Rob has submitted a couple of great questions over the last several months, and it's unexpectedly turned into a kind of three-part mini-series. The first question had to do with how to tell if a wine could be aged or how long it would age. The second question had to do with what does the sediment in the bottom of a bottle mean on an aged wine. So if you haven't seen those other two questions and the answers to those, check those videos out. But this third question is an awesome follow-up to it, and it hints towards, once you've opened that aged bottle, how do you know if it's spoiled? How do you know if it's tainted? What are the specific indicators? The long and the short of it is that there's all sorts of stuff in the wine that will basically ruin it. From the very start, that stuff is in the wine. And really, it's just that there's so little of it that you can't tell that it's there, it's not going to bother you, and you just really can't perceive it. What happens is that over time, or mishandling of the wine, maybe mistransporting it, or keeping it in a windowsill in the sun, that starts to wake up these bad elements of the wine, if you will, and start to ruin it. And by ruin it, what do we mean? Well, if you can't taste it but it's there, it's not so bad. If it becomes a little bit worse or a little bit more noticeable, then you can start to perceive it. Maybe at low levels, it's actually kind of a good thing. It gives character to the wine. But as it gets sort of worse or worse, as that level of flaw becomes more pronounced, eventually it's going to make the wine so out of balance that you just literally cannot stand to drink this stuff. And that's what we're really talking about here. So the short answer to your question is, do you still like it? Everybody has a different threshold for being able to perceive different elements of the wine. So what are these different elements? Well, let's take oxidation. If you go Google wine flaws, you'll get a Wikipedia list with a bunch of different flaws that are in wine. Well, they're not necessarily flaws at low levels if they add character, right? Take our Cellars, for example. That's a super oxidized wine. We put it on the roof, we oxidize it, we cook it in the sun, and oxidation gives a sort of walnut feel or flavor or smell, and a sort of cooked fruit. Well, that's exactly what we're aiming for in the Cellars, but it's a balanced product. If you were to get that maybe in a Sauvignon Blanc, not so balanced. So you might say that the Sauvignon Blanc is a spoiled wine because the level of oxidation has gone so far as to put the wine out of balance, whereas in the Cellars, it's making a completed, balanced, enjoyable product. So it's all to varying different degrees here, and no single element of wine makes the wine bad. It's just really to what level is it showing in the wine, what level is it coming out of the wine, and to the individual palate, where has it reached or exceeded your palate threshold for making the wine either more enjoyable, less enjoyable, or completely undrinkable. Thanks for the question. It's another great one. Put your thoughts in the comments section. We'd love to hear what you have to say about that, and see you next month. Cheers.